Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're looking at The Social Conquest of Earth by E.O. Wilson. This author, who passed in 2021, was an evolutionary biologist and entomologist known for creating the study of sociobiology and was widely considered to be the world's top authority on ants. And as a two-time winner of the Pulitzer Prize for nonfiction, he was one of those scientists that was also very good at writing. I also reviewed his book, Tales from the Ant World, which was good, link in the description, but The Social Conquest of Earth was a much better book. I want to say right off the bat that this book surprised me with how good parts of it were and the range of topics that were discussed. I especially enjoyed the discussion on the social nature of humans. There's a lot to say about this book because it covers so much ground, but I'll try to keep it brief. There are 6 parts to this book. Part 1, why does advanced social life exist? Part 2, where do we come from? Part 3, how social insects conquered the invertebrate world. Part 4, the forges of social evolution. Part 5, what are we? And Part 6, where are we going? The main theme this book looks at is the properties of eusociality. There are many social organisms on Earth, but only a handful of eusocial organisms. So what is eusociality? It's like a more advanced or higher level of sociality. There is a few criteria that organisms must meet to be called eusocial. 1, eusocial creatures live in and around a nest living site. Just because an animal has a nest, it doesn't make them eusocial, but the nest plays a major role in the evolution and development of eusocial characteristics. 2, eusocial creatures develop a division of labor among their members. A good example would be ants or bees. I like to think of this as like the structural functionalism for insects. 3, the nest living site of the eusocial, let's say, colony has members that do not necessarily leave the nest to continue their life cycle, but they stay at the nest and serve out their role in this division of labor. This could be helping to raise new broods, or foraging, or defending the nest. When organisms manage to evolve all of these properties and we put them all together, we can think of each colony as a kind of superorganism. That's a word that Wilson uses in the book. The superorganism is comprised of all these different social roles acting as one. By now, you may be thinking about how humans could meet the criteria and qualify as eusocial, and that's what the book says. One of the most interesting parts of the book is how Wilson discusses our early human evolution and how we became a eusocial species. In this book, Wilson covers many areas of our human nature, what makes us what we are and how we got that way. That's where this book really shines, and it's worth reading for this alone. It was really fascinating reading about how we evolved in Africa and our bodies and lifestyles changed over time, and some of the major landmarks like leaving the trees, incorporating much more meat into our diets, the discovery of fire, the inception of the band, and consequently the division of labor, and how it all comes together. I've read a number of books on evolution and human nature, and this one just captures so much from these fields in such a way that had that page-turner appeal. This was one of the most interesting books I've read on changing human evolution and looking deep into the human nature and how we became the way we are. Wilson did invent sociobiology after all, and you get a good taste of it in this book with concepts like how we evolved separate drives that can conflict with each other, like group altruism and self-preservation. This book talks about how biological evolution not only evolved our bodies and our brains, but also our behaviors, or at least some of the aspects behind them. Wilson's commentary on the social nature of the Homo sapiens alone makes this book worth picking up. The book is called The Social Conquest of Earth, and it does have dedicated sections to some insects, but the book is mostly about humans, and that's Homo sapiens as well as some of the other homos and Australopithecines. It has 27 chapters, and I'll just read you some of the chapter names to give you a better idea of what you get with this book. The Breakout, The Creative Explosion, The Sprint to Civilization, The Invention of Eusociality, Insect Altruism and Eusociality Explained, The Forces of Social Evolution, What is Human Nature, How Culture Evolved, The Origins of Language, the origins of morality and honor, the origins of religion, the origins of the creative arts. These were just some of the ones that I remembered being especially interesting. Now, there is some stuff in this book that I wasn't so sure about. I'm talking about Wilson's denouncement of inclusive fitness and kin selection, which is a way of thinking about how the evolution of altruism in groups. He says that it's flat out wrong and should be replaced with his group selection theory, which may be correct, but not only did I find the support for his theory less compelling than things I've read on kin selection in other books, but this is one of those things that I thought, couldn't both of these things be correct at the same time? Why do they have to be mutually exclusive? And also, at the end of the book, I found his opinion on space exploration and alien life to be pretty pessimistic. Other than these two things, the book was awesome. This was due to the range of topics covered and the way he did it. It's not surprising that this guy won 2 Pulitzers. One of them was for a book called On Human Nature. Okay, that's it for this one, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in learning about the past of human development and evolution, check out The Social Conquest of Earth by E.O. Wilson.